Donald Trump's own supporters are the ones really being hurt by his policies. I mean, are these really policies? They're just someone ruling by fiat. But Donald Trump is hurting his supporters, and they're waking up. They're waking up. I'm glad they're waking up now. Soybean farmers are being hurt. I have a video for you about that. Cattle ranch farmers being hurt. I have a video for you about that. We even have someone who was literally deported, who is a Donald Trump diehard. I think what's really, ironic about all of this is that I'm a YouTuber and I'm not hurt at all by Donald Trump's policies. He is directly hurting the people who voted for him. Probably a bad way to keep political power, but it also makes you wonder, is this someone who actually is worrying about elections, worrying about having to maintain some sort of happy electorate? I don't know. But first, here is just one soybean farmer discussing what has really happened in Donald Trump's America.
This president sold America's farmers out. And, farmers called every day and they said that they feel like they've been betrayed by this president, $40 billion to Argentina. And then they start to sell soybeans to China. And then the president comes and invites them here to the United States and then cuts another deal undermining beef cattle farmers here at home. So he always says he's putting America's first, that he loves farmers. But this doesn't look American at all.
It doesn't. But don't worry, everyone, because billionaire buddy and Trump administration treasurer Scott Bessent said American farmers are being hurt by tariffs. So is he.
I did mean the second term. I know they have met before. The president has also said he does want our farmers to be taken care of. You did mention that China has been boycotting American soybeans and American farmers have really suffered. Do you see a real light at the end of the tunnel there? They may allow soybeans again?
Well, Martha, in case you don't know it, I'm actually a soybean farmer, so I have felt this pain too. And there are a couple of things happening here. One, the Chinese have substantial...
He has felt this pain too. Scott Bessent's net worth is estimated to be $500 million, at least $520 million. His actual net worth could be $600 million. That's probably before all the corruption that he's been doing the past 10 months and pillaging of probably a lot higher now. But Scott Bessent can feel this man's pain. Give me a freaking break. All right, and as I said, cattle farmers are feeling the pain too. And here's just one cattle farmer story.
Way out west. Hey. Brian Dagenall, a third-generation Arizona rancher and president of the Arizona Cattle Growers Association, is working his herd.
This is fall works, but we're at one corral of many on the ranch.
Today's job, with some help from family and friends, is branding, then vaccinating his calves.
We just try and ease in there and neck one, and then next guy will heal him.
It's hard, rewarding work.
Ranching's always been a family business, has been for years.
But lately, harder to make a living doing it.
So this has been quite a week in the cattle business.
Partly because 30,000 feet above Brian Dagenall's ranch, President Trump said this.
Get beef prices down. The only price we have that's high is beef, and we'll get that down. Now, one of the things we're thinking about doing is beef from Argentina.
Those words were enough to shake the cattle market. Beef futures fell sharply, and ranchers like Dagenall felt the hit immediately.
90% of the cattle ranchers are Trump voters. But yeah, this is something that we have to call him on and say, no, we don't agree, right? So.
Beef prices have risen by almost $1 a pound since February. But for American ranchers, that's meant finally seeing some solid profit after years of thin margins.
We don't think the government should be manipulating markets.
What Dagenall does believe is with more profits, in time, the free market, not imports, will lower prices.
We need to be able to make a living ranching. And that will build, the market will correct itself, and there'll be more cattle.
Isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible? I wonder if this gentleman would still vote for Trump today. Probably he would. It sounds like he's not really mad at Trump. It's incredible to me. How many times do people need to get hit in the head or touch the hot stove to realize that they're the ones doing it? That it's your vote that has caused a lot of the pain in your life. Now, I feel empathy sympathy for anyone who is being negatively impacted by what Donald Trump is doing. I don't care if you voted for him. I don't care if you voted against him. I don't want to see anyone hurting. My hope is, though, that you can look at this and say to yourself, all right, this didn't work out. And so what can I do differently next time? Maybe it's voting for someone. And when you do that, actually listening to what they're saying, not just how they make you feel. Because I think a lot of these Trump voters liked how Trump made them feel, so they didn't really pay attention to what he was saying. And it's our job on the left to not criticize these people who are getting hurt. And I love it. I told you so. And I think we can, if you want to say I told you so in the comments, get it out now, because we got to bring these people into the fold by 2026 and for sure by 2028. But you can say I told you so in the comments for now. All right. And then another I told you so is Kirsty Nome. I always say Christy. Who cares? Ice Barbie, deported Trump fanatic Cuban immigrant to Africa. Roberto Mosquera was once a self-proclaimed super Trump supporter. Now he's trapped in a Mexican security prison in Africa after DHS detained and falsely labeled him a killer. Really great work by our government. Mosquera, 59, was taken into custody by ICE agents in South Florida during his annual check-in in June. He moved to the United States nearly 50 years ago. Quote, "It was hysterical. It's literally on their verified page that my dad is a murderer," this daughter, Monica, said. Public records show that Mosquera was never convicted or even charged with homicide. In 1988, when he was 18 years old, Mosquera was charged with attempted murder after shooting a man in the leg. He served a 9-year prison sentence and rebuilt his life, according to his lawyer. He was now a full-time plumber and doting dad to Monica and her 9-year-old sister. And after her father was detained, Monica said officials from the Department of Homeland Security told her he was deported to Cuba. She later learned from her local news station he was actually sent to a maximum security prison in the southern African kingdom of Eswatini, a nation accused of human rights abuses that none of the men have any connection to. Quote, "They were saying he was a murderer, then they lied to me saying that he was sent to Cuba, and I had to find out about a week later that he was actually sent to Africa." So here is where he was, and then here is where he was flown to. This deportation appears to be part of a secretive transfer arrangement between the U.S. and Eswatini, an extension of Trump's broader effort to expand the U.S. deportation program into Africa, despite warnings from human rights groups and lawyers who say the practice denies deportees due process and exposes them to abuse. Documents obtained by the New York Times show that Eswatini government at one point requested $500 million from the U.S. in exchange for accepting third country deportees. And his daughter says, "I asked him, why did you even support Trump?" And he was like, well, he's the president. Have faith that things are going to be different and things are going to change. And I guess you could say things did change for Monica and for her father, but not for the better. And it's despicable that we are sending people, someone who has done nothing wrong, been here for 50 years, rebuilt their life, to places that they're not even from and where they're probably being tortured. That's like what's happening here. Our government is sending people with no due process, no trial, to torture chambers. So let's recap. Soybean farmers who voted for Trump, screwed over. 90% of cattle ranchers who voted for Trump, screwed over. Immigrants who supported Trump, screwed over. And the one person who's not being screwed over, the billionaire buddies who voted for Trump. So that's why I hope in 2026 and 2028, we make this about anti-corruption and we make this about truly going after the billionaires who serve Trump and make life miserable for the rest of us. With all these distractions going on, we have to focus on the real stuff, which is that the reason why all these folks are hurting is because Donald Trump wants to help his billionaire friends at the expense of you and me. And let's not let him. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you soon. Bye.